Joe, how are you?
You know what? It's nice to have a smile on my face after a win for a change. Although, let me put it this way. I aged about 5 years in this game. This was a 5-year aging game, no doubt about it.
Oh, Joe, it was entertaining because it was so ugly. Like, people asked me about it. I'm like, you know what? It was so bad, it was actually entertaining.
Well, you know what, Teak? I tell you what. And first of all, what's the deal, you guys? You're supposed to tell me about Vera Tucker. What's the story?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, can't wait. Wait for this, Joe. Wait for this.
Done for the season.
Is he?
Done for the season, torn Achilles.
Real, it is.
Can't make it up. Even in a win in Denver, same location as last year, poor AVT, who they can move anywhere, and he's solid, done for the season. So get ready for a lot of Max Mitchell at right tackle.
Well, look, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't think he's brutal, but we'll see what happens. Look, when he went out, you didn't feel good about it, and it's sad. I mean, the guy's 2 years in a row in Denver, and hate to say it. I mean, it sounds like he might be a little injury prone. You never know. We'll see.
Yeah, I hate to throw that tag on kids.
I know,
but
I do too.
But you know what? But you know what? I mean, Joe, if you can't stay healthy, it's the same conversation we have about Saquon Barkley. You don't want to say he's injury prone, but he's injury prone.
That's it. The best ability, availability. There's no doubt about it. Well, I'll tell you right now, and I know, Ev, you have to. And by the way, Teak, I think you should do all the Jet games because you're 1-0 now. You're
No. I'm 1-1 because you don't forget I did Zach's first game back in 2020.
Oh, did you? We don't count that.
The Carolina game.
I'm just looking at this year.
Got
Teak.
it.
Forget about that.
Oh, Joe, but which, by the way, it brings me to something that Andrew Catalan told me after the game. He said, like 3 or 4 years ago, Joe found my number, called me up because you had a previous relationship with him, and was like, Andrew, we never win with you. Like, we're like 0-5 when you call our games. So I told him I would tell you today that they officially have got off the slide with Andrew Catalan on the call.
and a game they really needed to have. I'll tell you, and Ev, I'm sure you were with me on this. When Zach throws the pick there on that last drive, and by the way, it wasn't a terrible throw. I mean, the ball was kind of right where, it looked like only Garrett Wilson could catch it. Surtain made a ridiculous play, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, he really did. But when they pick it off, I know you had to be thinking this. How many times have we seen the defense, with a chance to put the game to bed, end the game, let them go right down the field for a touchdown or a field goal? I for sure thought we were going into overtime minimum.
My thought was, all right, they're starting at their own 3-yard line.
Right.
That we're probably not losing this game on a walk-off touchdown.
Well, I'm glad you thought that.
Worst case scenario, we're going to overtime. And that would have been unacceptable when you really think about it.
Of course. But you know what? Quincy Williams, who, by the way, right now is just playing as good as any linebacker in the NFL. He's playing better than his brother. I'm sorry, Quinn, I know you're terrific, but your brother's playing better than you are right now. And, I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he makes the play. And how about this? Because I've gotten on a coach a little bit about this, not blitzing enough, okay? We watched them lose that. How did they lose to the Patriots?
That one is going to live with us.
Lose that game.
That one haunts you because the Patriots have been outscored 76-3 the last two games.
That's what it is. 74, I think.
74. Yeah, I think
counting?
You're right. Yeah, exactly.
What a disgrace. How they lost to them is unbelievable. But look, I mean, they found a way. Quincy made the big play. Like I said, we saw the coach blitz because I don't think that they should have been blitzing Mac Jones the whole day when they played him, but whatever. And look, he made the play he had to make. I was also screaming at Bryce Hall running down the sideline to just go down.
Why?
Just because I wanted over.
Because it ends the game.
I've had enough.
But it was over. I mean, you're up by 10. You're up by 10. They have no timeouts left.
Teak, this is the Jets, Teak. I've been following this team since 1965. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
And even we saw what happened last year when the Jets actually won that game against Cleveland. Nick Chubb should have gone down. They would have won, and the Jets wound up finding a way. So, but look, terrific win, and Breece Hall, bro. How good is
Look, the offense to me,
lightning.
The formula for the Jets to win games is a defense that forced turnovers, which they were able to do after they got off to a dreadful start. But at least they settled down.
Give up a touchdown every first drive of the game. The Jets defense gives up a touchdown.
Automatic. But forced turnovers, play stingy defense, especially in the second half, and wait for Breece Hall to make a play or two and hope the quarterback doesn't completely screw up. And if you do that, that was the formula the first half of last year before things went haywire.
But Brees is unbelievable. I mean, this is one of those rare guys. You knew, I tell you, and it's rare that I'm like this. I knew he was breaking one yesterday. Yeah. You just got that feeling. Teak, I mean, you know running backs as good as anybody. You just got that feeling. He's been so close a couple times this year already. Buffalo, Kansas City last week. You just got the feeling he was going to break one. He had a couple early where he almost got there.
Yep.
I remember the guy tripped him up one time, and he kind of went like this. He kind of gave the signal like, he just got me here.
Yep.
You just had a feeling he was going to take one to the house.
Well,
I mean,
you know
he's unbelievable.
You know why that happens, though, Joe? And we don't see it anymore, and I hate it for the running backs, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to give the running back 20-something carries anymore. Right? And like home runs, because I hit a bunch of them in my time as a running back, Absolutely. They happen after a 3-yard run, a 6-yard run. Yep. You get like a 2-yard run. Maybe you get like an 8-yard run. But you've done it. You've gotten so used to knowing how a defender is going to come attack you that eventually, like, you've seen it enough times. It's like a baseball. It's like it's third time through the rotation, right? It's like the third time. I know he's going to do to me, and you smash a home run, right? It's same thing happens for running backs. Eventually, you kind of figure out, and it gives you just a slight enough edge where you can make a big play happen. But I also have to give credit to the run game coordination. Like some of these calls, they were like traps and a little misdirection. It was stuff to get him running downhill aggressively. And these guys, he's big. They make business decisions in the secondary, and Denver has not been good at tackling guys in the run, and Brees took a huge advantage of it. He's special, man.
Yeah, he is. Please stay healthy. He's a great player. It makes me laugh, too, and you're the perfect guy to talk to about this. The devaluation of the running back, Teak. I mean, when you see a guy that can, at any moment, break one for 70 and 80 yards, there's not a lot of guys that can do that. Right. You got a guy that can do that. I mean, that guy, you telling me this guy is not, he's not a valuable guy, that he shouldn't be getting paid?
No, he should.
Of course he should.
Well, Joe, here's what I say. Here's what I always say. The running back can be devalued until you have that one. Right. Until you have that guy. For the Giants, it's Saquon. The only thing that's held him back is that he hasn't been healthy
all the time.
Right? But, like, Christian McCaffrey, if you have Christian McCaffrey on your team, are you not going to pay him? You're just going to let him walk and be disgruntled?
Here's the proof of Brees Hall's value is look at last year. If he doesn't get hurt in Denver, I think they make the playoffs.
They won 2 games after he got hurt. They were 5-2, bro. They won 2 games after that.
Yeah,
it's a great point.
He is their offense, and what I really loved on the field goal drive that made it 10-8. That run-only drive where Hackett just stuck with it.
Yeah.
Haul. There was a Cook run here and there, but they stuck with the run.
Cook. He made a couple decent runs. But you know what? Here's the deal, too. They overcame so much bad in this game. I mean, he couldn't score inside the 10-yard line. And please, when you got a first and goal to me, Tick, how do you feel about this? First and goal on the 10 or the 9-yard line.
Yeah.
Did we throw the ball on first down?
Play action. Matt and I were saying
you're not putting it in the end zone, running up the middle twice.
Matt Ryan and I said this over and over again. Eventually, Nate's gonna he's gonna set up all these runs, first down runs in the red area. Eventually, we got to see a play action.
Of course,
and we didn't. So
the real killer, though, Joe, the one that drove us all nuts was the play right before halftime.
Yeah, of course,
that cannot happen.
You got to throw the ball in the end zone. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, just throw the ball in the end zone. I mean, and that's the other thing, Ev, that they got away with that.
Yes,
they got away with that. They got away with all the trips inside the 10-yard line where they had to settle for field goals. They got away with 9 penalties and another brutal run. Tiki roughing the passer. Bryce Huff, he hits him up here.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't hit him in the head, and it wasn't late. And
but the problem was he was up near his neck, and I hate it. He didn't land on him. At first, I thought it was because he landed on him. That new rule they put in like 2. They didn't.
Right.
They put that in like 2 years ago. You can't even land on the quarterback. And I was like, oh, maybe he landed on him. And then the more you looked at it, it was like the only thing they could have called was he was around his head. And if you're around his head, they're going to call it all the time. I hated it. Right. I hate those calls because the quarterback is still a football player. But at the end of the day, they want to protect him.
And Zach got hit in the face again early in the game.
No call.
Throw the flag.
No call.
They have. I'm telling you, I've said this. I even said this to Sally. They have not gotten a roughing the passer call since Richard Todd was.
I need to find out literally
I think it was
when.
1981, Tiki. I think that was the year.
I do need to find out when was the last roughing the passer penalty?
I don't think there's been one in the Sally era. I don't think since Sally's been the coach. They definitely didn't get one last year. They haven't gotten one this year. You got to look back to his first year, maybe the last time they got one, because it's been a long time.
One thing that definitely changed, and this was the killer for them late last year, was not only did they force turnovers, but remember on the Xavier Gipson fumbled when Will McDonald finally makes his presence felt by recovering it. And then on the other end, Denver's muffing it, and the Jets are recovering.
Well,
they were able to get those.
And I think, Teak, you guys mentioned this on the broadcast. So Sauce Gardner, I mean, this is just brutal coaching by Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner goes out of the game for a play. They put this kid James in, number 31.
Yeah, who just got called up from the practice squad yesterday.
Never heard of the guy. Don't you throw right to that area?
Right at him.
What do? They try like this triple reverse. They wind up fumbling the ball.
Yeah.
And Quentin Jefferson winds up recovering it.
Yeah.
I mean, what a brutal call by Sean Payton.
Yeah, my
in that
problem
spot.
with that call for Sean is that how many times have you practiced that, right? And because you could see Samaje Perine, who tried to flip it to Marvin Mims, he threw it over his head.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, and so that should be a handoff. It should be just lay it out there. Don't throw it at him type of thing. But you have a sudden change. Make something happen with your best player. That is Russell Wilson, even though he's not really their best player. But you know what I mean.
Right.
Keep it in the quarterback's hands. Don't put it in Marvin Mims, a rookie's hands, on a double reverse from Samaje Perine, who's not even your starting running back. It didn't make any sense, and it ultimately cost them.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. But they overcame so much. I mean, how about the fact that there were 3 times in this game, Ev, where they fumbled and recovered it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wilson recovered it twice. And who was the other fumble that with the Gibson. The
Xavier
first,
Gibson, the one
the McDonald recovery.
Yeah.
The first Gibson fumble. Right.
Well, that's why, listen, man, these wins, they're valuable. We haven't had a lot of these in a very long time.
Well,
when you win a football game, and I walked upstairs and I'm telling my wife I saw Jet win, it's special. I don't throw it back.
No,
but
of course not.
There's a lot of concerns about this team moving forward because when they play the Philadelphia Eagles, they can't make these mistakes.
No.
They made a lot of mistakes in this game that they're not overcoming against a team like Philadelphia.
Right. You're 100% right. But you know what? Look, I look at it this way. Breece Hall is, like, we're talking about a special guy. Hopefully, this is going to continue. And the defense is not – look, the defense played pretty well. I mean, I understand that, early on they gave up that touchdown right away, but they held them twice to field goals. It was only 13-8. And then the defense made plays. I mean, they really did.
They did.
Got after the court. Bryce Huff had a terrific game. Johnson had, I thought, a really good game. Quincy, obviously, was phenomenal in this football game.
And he's been all year.
Yeah.
Quincy's been great all year.
And, he's been great. He's one of the best linebackers in the game. I don't think there's any doubt about it. DJ Reed didn't play. Hopefully he comes back for this game. And, look, I mean, it's time to beat the Eagles. I mean, I understand the Eagles are 5-0, and they're an elite team and all it is, but they've lost 12 straight times to them in their history. The only team the Jets have never beaten. Let's go. They're playing at home. I want to see a maximum effort. And look, let the quarterback throw the ball down the field. Okay? I still don't think there's enough of that in the offense. I don't know about how you feel, T.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, I think it's just finding the plays. The one thing that I was encouraged about, that the play to Conklin, the third down conversion.
Right.
It was
the final drive.
huge. The reason that was such an important play for me, just looking at Zach's development, is that it was a full field read. So they were empty, so there's nobody in the backfield, and he started left. He had 2 receivers left and 3 right. So he started left, it wasn't there, and he recognized it right away, comes back right, sees the double move by Conklin, and just throws a dart, man. It was like he used to not be able to do that. Right? He'd be scrambling out of the pocket, like running like for his life to the sideline, looking to make some hero throw. He stopped doing it. And you could often see it. Like parts of this game, he wanted to scramble, but he forced himself to stay in the pocket, right? And then make a play or either move forward with with his legs a little bit. So it's happening. I don't know if he's ever going to be like elite superstar quarterback, but he's not making those same simple mistakes that he was all of last year, even his rookie season, but that's forgivable, all of last year and some points early in the season this year as well.
What would you give him for a grade in this game? Both of you. What do you give him?
He didn't have any, I'd say B-.
C.
Yeah.
I think it's a C.
Yeah, I gave him a C.
B-.
Like
he didn't make any mistakes.
He didn't.
There were 2 bad moments. One was the end of the half.
Right.
And Coach Saleh even talked about this. Like, you can't put him in that position.
No.
Right. He's too young. He hasn't experienced it enough. He's not 16 come from behind, game-winning drives type of quarterback. He's not there yet. And then, obviously, the throw that was intercepted. And the reason I don't like the throw, I know you said it was a decent throw,
I didn't think it was bad. Really.
It needs to be on the shoulder, right? If you throw it high and away as opposed to low and inside, the only person who can make a play on it is Garrett Wilson, and Garrett Wilson has some of the best hands in football.
Hey, look.
So
the reason it's tough to give him too high of a grade is think about the drives in the first half.
Yeah.
They had a
And they couldn't
3
put
and
the ball in
out.
the end zone. No, they couldn't put the ball in the end zone.
But they also didn't have any sustained drives because of him. Like the one drive where they marched down the field and stalled, they ran exclusively until 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line.
Yeah. No, you're right.
The entire first half was just nothing. They didn't do much. And then the touchdown that they got from Breece Hall was him literally handing it off to him, and he goes 72 yards. And then the field goal drive was essentially running with Breece Hall, where I give him credit. Here's why I give him a lot of credit. And Tiki mentioned it before. That 3rd down connection to Conklin was a monstrous play.
Big play in the game.
Because if that's a 3 and out with that much time on the clock, Denver's getting real good field position where all they need is a field goal. And considering what happened on that previous drive where penalties really killed them, including the 2-point conversion with the defensive hold.
On Bryce Hall.
So that conversion of Conklin was so far and away the biggest play. That almost brings his grade up. But for the most part, he was kind of a nothing. Like they relied on their defense forcing turnovers and the running game being really effective.
Yeah, and that's what they got to be. I mean, let's be honest. Going forward, this is what they got to be. This is how they're going to win. I mean, they got to be able to run the football consistently. You know, look, you got to have Zach put the ball up at times. Like I said, I like to see more deep shots, but they got to play defense. That's it. You know, and they got to stop getting behind in every game. I mean, the defense. Every game. The defense would, Dallas, the first drive of the game, that play to the tight end against New England. Last week, 17-0 before you can turn around. Pacheco goes for 60. And yesterday, right down the field, it was an 80-something yard drive. They went right down the field for a touchdown to take a 7-3 lead. I mean, this has got to stop.
Yeah, if they can play from in front, it lets them play to their strengths. Yeah, because they can just run the ball. They can make the easy throws for Zach. They don't have to do the big things downfield. They can just it allows them to play how they're most comfortable playing.
How do you gauge the team now? I mean, with 2-3, the Eagles are going to be tough.
Yeah,
they play the Giants after that in a bye game. Look, I'm sorry, they better beat the Giants.
Better.
I mean, right now the Giants.
I can't even make an argument for my team.
They're hard. No, I mean, they're playing. Look, I tell it like it is, Teak. They look to me right now. They look like the worst team in the NFL. I mean, I hate to say that.
I haven't said that. Well, the offensive line is the worst in the NFL.
It's brutal.
It feels like it's getting worse, and Saquon's still hurt. And defensively, they're trying to do too much. They look lost. So
now they're going to go play Buffalo.
I know.
And they also
job by the Jaguars. Boy, I loved the Jaguars yesterday. I really did, and that is a great job winning that game. How about the roughing the passer? Did you see that game?
Yes.
Did you see the roughing the passer?
Yes.
They called on Josh Allen.
Yes, the Allen on Allen crime.
Did you see that?
I did not see it.
Oh, man, you got to see the. Even Gene Steratore said it wasn't roughing the passer. That's how bad it was.
Well, how about in the Kansas City game?
My God.
They throw a
flag. They picked the flag
for
up,
pass
right?
interference when there was pass interference.
Of course.
But wait a second. It's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. We can't do this.
It's a joke.
And after a meeting, they pick up the flag.
What a disgrace.
That's funny.
Let me say this, too. When we're talking officials, something's got to be done. I mean, I really believe this, guys. I mean, nobody is watching the NFL to watch these officials throw flag after flag.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many of them. It's ridiculous. These ticky-tack fouls that have nothing to do with the play. I mean, look, false start's a false start. There's no way around that. Offside, certain penalties are cut and dry, no question about it. And another thing, we need a new rule where you can review roughing the passer. I really believe that. I do.
Well, we had the review of pass interference. It lasted 1 year. Then they got rid of it.
This is different, though. This is a little different, bro.
I'd review
so many bad calls.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the pass interference thing, Ev, I know what you're saying. It'd be like reviewing holding of offensive linemen.
Right,
you could call it on every play.
Honestly, I'd review everything. I would give coaches 3 challenges a game.
That's okay.
3 challenges a game, so it's not every single play is getting looked at, and you get to decide when something's egregious. So, for example, Robert Saleh could have thrown the flag on the BS defensive hold that was called on Sauce a week and a half ago against Kansas City.
I don't think that one would have got overturned.
Maybe not, but I do think that egregious call should be looked at.
Not every penalty. I wouldn't want that unless you're going to just tell me that only the coach's challenge is what's going to be.
That's it. Yeah.
If you eliminate the booth review and you eliminate all of that, then I'm looking at it differently. You know what I mean?
Out of curiosity, because I said this to Tiki, Joe remembers everything. Do you remember a football game? It's not a Jet-related game. The Giants lost a game to the Buffalo Bills 6-3 in 1987 with replacement players.
I do, actually.
You do?
Yeah. It had to be one of the ugliest games. There were 7 turnovers by the Bills.
If I'm not mistaken, I think LT played in that game.
Oh, did he?
I'm almost sure Lawrence Taylor played in that game and played both ways, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I think so, because by the time we got, and I remember watching this game, because when I found out that these games are going to count, the last replacement game in '87, the Jets played the Dolphins, and Pat Ryan played quarterback, their backup quarterback. Gastineau played in the game. I think Klecko might have played too. You were starting now to see guys cross the picket line and actually start to play. And I'm watching this game because I'm like, this game's going to count. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor definitely played. He started
in that Buffalo game, right?
Yep, he started at linebacker.
Yep. And I think he played offense like tight end.
That's crazy.
Parcells had him playing tight end.
That's awesome.
The reason I brought this game up is the Giants did something amazing yesterday. They did something very Jet-like. They won the turnover battle by 3.
3-0, right.
And they lost. So out of curiosity, I wanted to see, how often has this happened in Giant history?
Right.
It's actually happened a lot with the Jets, not a surprise.
Well, of course.
The New York Giants had won 59 out of their last 60 games in which they had won the turnover battle by 3 or more. 59 out of 60 until Sunday against Miami.
Wow.
And the last time before that was this game against Buffalo in 1987.
In the replacement year.
Yeah, where they won the turnover battle by 5 and somehow managed to lose 6-3.
It's funny you bring up that year, and you guys should check this out on YouTube. I'll never forget this because at this point I'm a traveling salesman. I'm watching a Monday night game. It's the Giants and the 49ers. Total replacement players. Monday Night Football, right? This guy, his name was Edwin Lovelady. I will never forget this guy's name. Wide receiver. He made one. Check it out on YouTube. He made one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. This guy, Edwin Lovelady, right?
Wow. Okay.
In a replacement. And I think the Niners beat the Giants 40-something to 3 in this game. I mean, it was terrible. But the replacement players, 3 games, and they counted the games.
Crazy.
That was terrible.
Edwin Lovelady from Memphis.
Is that where he went?
He went to Memphis. He's from Tennessee.
Okay.
He had three games, 10 catches, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
In 3 games.
This one touchdown against the Giants on Monday Night Football, I'll never forget. I mean, it was right up there with David Tyree. That kind
Really?
of catch.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was that kind of catch.
I wonder if he's related to that Oakland A's and Kansas City reliever, Richard Lovelady. Dick Lovelady. Real person.
Only you would know Richard Lovelady.
Well, because
God
of the
bless
name.
you.
That's the only
God bless
reason
you.
it stuck with me.
Look, I know Edwin Lovelady, so what does that say for me?
Exactly. All right, where's your confidence level on beating the Eagles? First time in history.
I think they can do it. I mean, I think it comes down to what we're talking about. I mean, don't turn it over. We need a game from Brees again. We need the running game to, give us at least a shot. And they got to play defense. I mean, the defense has got to force turnovers. There's no other way to say it. The one thing that worries me here, the Eagles have a tremendous defensive line. What's his name? Hassan Reddick is back.
Yeah.
He had a couple sacks in the game here this week against the Rams. So I'm a little concerned. I'm more than a little concerned, especially with AVT out now. But look, I mean, why not, bro? Maybe you catch. They're 5-0. Maybe you catch the Eagles being flat. I mean, I don't know who they play the week after that, but you never know. And it's at home, so let's go.
Let's go. Joe, great talking to you, man.
Thank you,
Guys,
Joe.
Take care. All the love.
The great Joe Benigno off a Jet victory, a victory Monday as the Jets improved to 2-3.